Alright, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another vlog. Today we got something special for you, but before we get into the video, I want to thank everyone that has followed me on Instagram and everyone that's added me on Snapchat. Like I said, I will add you guys back. I've been adding a lot of you back. You guys are hilarious, and keep sending the questions and all the funny comments and sending me pictures of your Jeeps and what you drive. I think it's really awesome, and I try and respond to you guys as best as I can. And I definitely will follow you back. I'm not one of those people that's just looking for followers on Instagram and doesn't follow people back. So I will follow you guys back, so continue to follow. Continue to add me on Snapchat. I'll have those names below, but it's just VanV39. And let's get into the video. Alright, so over the weekend, I decided to make a purchase. I had an idea. I thought about this a couple years ago, about getting a motorcycle. That idea kind of went away after a while, after I went through some cars, had my Evo, built that. So the idea went away. Well, something sparked my interest about 2 weeks ago, and I started looking at Harleys. As I'm not really a fan, I mean, I like sport bikes, I think they're awesome. I just think for the daily driver, I just think they're too much. They're too fast. Not that I can't handle it, but I think they're too fast. It's just too much to ride on the road. I don't need that. That's not what I want. And I want something a little more comfortable, a little more of a cruiser style. Something just to take out on the weekends and then ride to work occasionally. So I started looking at Harleys, and I really like that old school Sportster and Roadster look from the 40s and 50s. And I know Harley had made a bike called the Iron 883, which has that old school Sportster look. And then they also had the 1948 edition, which was a little more expensive. It came with a little bit bigger engine, so it's obviously a little bit more. And my only thing about that bike that I didn't like was how small the tank was. It has a really small tank, but they do that to keep the look of the 1948 bike from back in the 40s from Harley Davidson. So it's a really cool bike. It's a little bit heavier because of the weight of the motor and the frame to support that. It's got the big 1200cc V-twin motor. It's a badass bike. But I figured for my first bike I'd get an 883. So what I wanted to do was go to Harley on Saturday and sit on the bikes, and then I'd really be able to tell which bike was for me. Being 6'1", I was kind of worried, like the bike might feel really small, but it might be too small. I'm gonna look like an idiot on it because I'm too tall for it. So I really wanted to go sit on them and look at and felt how they feel. So I went on Saturday. It was freaking blizzarding in Colorado, of course, so I just took my Jeep. I didn't bring any way to get the bike home because I didn't think I was going to buy one. So went and looked at a couple of bikes, was looking at some used 883s because I didn't want to spend too much money, especially with it being my first bike. Who knows if I was going to like it. I might get rid of it right away. I have a tendency to do that with cars. I've been through a lot of cars. So I didn't want to spend a bunch of money and then turn around and sell it. So I was just looking at something used. And I sat on the 883. I loved it. I felt like it was a good size. It wasn't as small as I thought, but it was definitely lighter. I felt more in control, and I still didn't want to spend the amount that the 48 was going to cost me. And for a beginning bike, not that I'm a beginner rider, but it's my first street bike, road capable bike. I grew up on dirt bikes my whole life. My mom had a motorcycle, used to take us to school on the back of the motorcycle, so I grew up around motorcycles, but it's my first bike that I can ride on the street legally. I haven't had a dirt bike in a while, but I've had dirt bikes my whole life, so I didn't want to go too crazy with it. And someone's texting me, I don't know who it is, I don't really care. So I didn't want to go too crazy with it with something like a 1200cc. So I figured the 883 was a better way to go. If I got bored of it, I could always trade the bike in, upgrade it, or I can always upgrade the motor if I want to get more power out of it. But for a weekend cruiser and something to occasionally take to work, I think it was gonna be the best bike. So the dealership, it was Avalanche Harley. By the way, they're awesome dealership over off of Colfax. They're in Lakewood. They're about to move to Golden, and I'm not sure of their new address, but we're gonna go to their old address today to pick up the bike, because I did buy it. Sorry to spoil the rest of the story. But I did spend about 5 hours there negotiating with them. And they obviously always want to push new bikes just when you go to a dealership. you go in there thinking, oh, I'm gonna get something used, so I'm gonna save a little bit of price up front, and then they end up talking you into a new one because they give you a better price because they make more money selling the new ones, and they get spiffs from, their owners for selling new ones. So ended up doing the numbers, spent about 5 hours, redid the actual contract 3 different times after already signing it because I wanted it even cheaper. So if you need tips on negotiating, just call me or text me or message me because I'll tell you how to do it. But pretty much I got the bike for cheaper than 2 of the 3 used ones I was looking at. I was looking at 3 used bikes, okay? One was a 2011 with 10,000 miles. Not too bad for a Harley. Harleys last for a long time. And it was $5,500. The other 2 had about 2,000 to 3,000 miles. They're both pretty similar. 2,000 to 3,000 miles, and one was a 13, one was a 14. And they wanted $7,500 for one of them, and they wanted $85 for the other one. And I got the brand new 2017 XL 883 in charcoal denim gray for cheaper than they were going to sell both of the used bikes, which my mind is insane. But why would you get a used one with miles on it when you could get a brand new one with 0 miles for cheaper, and you're the first one to ride it? So it's like buying a car. I've bought tons of used cars in my life. You just always run the risk of you don't know how the person before you has maintained it. Even though it's gone through an inspection, you don't know how the person has maintained it before you, so things could go wrong later on down the road. I'm going to be the one that puts the break-in miles. I'm going to be the one that takes it in for maintenance on time because I'm just that type of person. I like to take care of my stuff. So that bike is, if something happens, it's because of me and how I took care of it. So I was really excited. I got a bike with literally 0 miles. They didn't think they had any brand new 883s in stock because it's a really popular bike right now. That's just the style that people want, and they're selling really fast. But they had one across the street in their service department that just came off the crate the day before. So they literally had just got a shipment from Harley, and they had one 883, and it was in this badass charcoal denim gray color. It looks freaking sweet. Everything's blacked out on the side. The pipes are blacked out. All the chrome covers are blacked out. It's just a really good looking bike. And for the price, I couldn't pass it up. So we're going to go pick that up right now. Taking a truck to go pick it up. Going to throw it in the back of a truck because I don't have my endorsement yet. So I'll make a video on that because I'm going to need to get my endorsement here. And then take the written test, take the road test, get my endorsement. And then we can start cruising around, making some moto vlogs. And really excited because I think it's going to add some depth to the channel, just some different views. Obviously, we're going to still make tons of Jeep videos because that's my main thing. But we're going to make a couple of motorcycle videos on the side as well. And it's just going to be freaking sweet. It's going to be badass. So I'm really pumped for that. Thank you all who have been subscribing. We broke 800 last night. To some people, that doesn't seem very big, but to me, it's a big thing because I don't know, 2 months ago I was like at 150 or 200. So for me, that's a huge thing, and I'm really pumped that you guys like these videos, the thumbs up, the thumbs down, the comments, messaging me on Instagram, messaging me on Snapchat. You can add me on Facebook too. I don't care. I'll add you guys all back. If you ever have any questions, feel free to ask, and if you ever just want to talk, I'm down to talk too. So keep doing it, keep adding me, and let's go pick up this fucking Harley. Alright, so we just got to Harley, gonna go in, get the keys, and then load up the bike. And before we do that, I want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Sam. We became friends on Instagram a while back, and then he started watching my YouTube videos, added each other on Snapchat, and I don't know, we talk daily now. So, like I said, make sure you add me. We could become friends, people. Come on. So I told Sam to make a video on his Snapchat, and whatever he wants to put on the Snapchat, I'll put on the video. So let me open up his Snap real quick. So All right, so finally made it home. Had some errands to run down when I was in Denver, but I just got the bike off the truck. Here it is. So it's 2017 Harley Davidson Iron 883 XL. Charcoal denim gray. Everything's blacked out. I love the black exhaust heat shields. Adjustable coils in the back, which would be nice because you can adjust the riding for it. But yeah. It's about to rain here, so I'm going to take it down the street real quick, just get a little feel for it, and then I'll do an actual review video on it this weekend when I get home, and pending the weather's pretty good. But yeah, really excited where this is going to take the channel. I'm just excited to be back on a motorcycle. First time on a street-driven one, obviously, but I've been around motorcycles my whole life. So going to have some really cool videos coming up on the motorcycle, and like I said, we'll continue to make videos on the Jeep. But this will just add some depth to the channel. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Snapchat, and we'll see you guys on the next one.